Hi, my name is Cece, and on behalf of Scrapbooks on Trial, welcome to another One Take Friday. Today I'm using a stencil with the amazing Metallic PanPastels. PanPastel requires a surface that has some tooth to it. So my chipboard is quite smooth. I'm going to prep the chipboard with acrylic ground for pastels, but I don't want it that color. I actually want a dark color for my background, and I was thinking of using the Olivine silks. The silks will give us, or will add shimmer to our ground for pastels. So I'm going to mix the ground on palette paper, and I'm going to shake my silks really well, and I'm going to pick up some of that with another palette knife. And now I'm going to mix this all up. If you feel that your green is too light, you can add some glaze. I'm going to start mixing to see what color I get, and I might decide to add a bit of that green as I go along, because I find that this green is rather light in color. So it looks like I'm going to need some more. So I'm just going to add some more. So when you're happy with the color, you can start applying it to your chipboard. For this I use just a regular brush. I'm just going to move this to the side and start applying. Now, obviously the thicker you put, the longer it's going to take to dry. The application is somewhat a little different than when you apply paint, in that you need to work it into your surface. It doesn't, it tends to move on the surface. So my suggestion is that you keep brushing until it actually takes. So what I do is I usually brush one way, and then I give it a very light brushing the other way, just to get rid of the lines of the brush strokes. Make it as even as possible. And then I'm going to let this dry, or you can also speed up the process with a heat tool. Alright, so now I want to create more of a grunge look to this board, and I find the board is a little too light green for my taste. So I have black paint right here. This is the Studio paint by Claudine Helmuth. I'm just going to pick up a little bit of black at the end of my, this is a knitting needle, by the way, very fancy tool, and I'm going to mix that into my green, and I'm going to brush that over the layer that I've just done. So this is a very dark green. I'm just going to pick up a little bit and just create some variations on my chipboard. I don't want to get rid of all of that beautiful green that I've laid down, but I do want to give this sort of an antique look. I even have a bit of black right here, which is great. So let me see if I can move my lighting. I apologize, the lighting in here is not the best. So you can see the streaks that I have. So this I'm going to let dry very thoroughly. If you want to, you can also prepare your edges with the ground. I mean, this is not necessary, but I find it adds to the finish. Or you could go around at the end and just brush on some black or something to make it pop. I'm just going to leave it like that, and I'm going to let this dry, and I'll be right back. The chipboard is now dry. So I have this stencil here by Hero Arts that I want to use. But before I go ahead and do the wreath, I want to use the wreath to add some leaves or some branches to this panel. Now I'm going to use a mixture of an extra dark green and a gold, the light gold PanPastel, which is, oops, the metallic PanPastel. I just dropped some on my board, not a big deal. All right, so I'm going to start by adding the dark green, and for this I use the soft tool, which is a tool that is especially made for PanPastels. And I'm going to just use the wreath as if they were branches. So to apply the PanPastel, I pat over the stencil. I do not brush. Now this is dark green on dark green, so it's going to be a little bit more difficult to see. But once I start adding the gold and the green, it's going to blend in and it's going to give us some nice results. So I'm going to add a bit of branches here at the top. And now I'm going to take a paper towel and just wipe off the excess of that green because I want to add some gold. Let me zoom in first so that I can show you what the greens look like. So from up close, this is what it looks like. Okay, so now I'm going to add the gold ones. Look how gorgeous that is. We can still see some of the dark leaves in the background. Like so. Okay. So here's what the metallic PanPastel look like from up close. How gorgeous is that? They're really, really creamy. They're easy to apply. They're absolutely beautiful. So now I'm going to use another soft, well, actually, I'm just gonna flip this one over. These are washable, by the way. So here's the silver, and it's a beautiful color. It's a very light silver. It's absolutely gorgeous. So I'm almost done going around, and as you can see, all I'm doing is just patting that beautiful creamy PanPastel inside the stencil. So what you're actually doing is patting it down, making it adhere to the ground that we've laid down. So I'm just going to go over some areas just to make sure that I've got every nooks and crannies filled in. And ta-da! Look how gorgeous this is. Oh. Look at the shine. I mean, seriously, guys, I want to write the Noel in the middle. So I'm just going to line this up inside, and I'm going to use the gold again to stencil over the Noel. I want to outline the letters with a black charcoal pencil. This is one by Faber-Castell. There we go. So now we've defined the Noel a little bit more. You can see that. It's a very quick project to do. So I made a boo-boo. I started adding the berries before I actually sealed this piece. What I suggest is that you seal the piece before you add the berries, because I have no idea how the glitter liner will react to any of the fixatives. So before I go ahead and do that, I'm going to go outside and add some workable fixative. The Spectra Fix you can use inside, no problem, but if you're using workable fixative, it's best to use it in a very well ventilated area or completely outside. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and I'll be right back. Okay, so my fixative is drying. Now I can add the berries. How cool is that? Very quick and easy project. You can also give this as a Christmas gift or use this to decorate your house. Of course, you can add, you could, if you wanted to, take your charcoal pencil and shadow some of those branches that you've added right here. Okay, so what I've just decided to do is to add some black acrylic paint around the edges and making the paint spill out on the top here. So I was able to darken up some of the corners. I've darkened these two corners and a little bit on the side here, and that just adds to the shabbiness of the project. So that's it. There it is. I love the black, really makes everything pops. I really like that. I think it's a nice grungy, shabby chicy Christmas decoration from your home, or you can also give this as gifts. They're very quick to do. You can pop those like in an evening. You can probably do 5 or 6 in a row. And here are the 6 metallics that are part of the PanPastel collection. They're just amazing. They're just gorgeous. If you like what I did, you can also come and check out at the store our art journal. I know that Giselle has done something with the metallics. I believe she's done a face. They're just super amazing. They're creamy. They go on like butter, as they say, and I've been playing with them for most of the day today. So that is it for today. I hope that you've enjoyed this tutorial. As usual, thank you for watching. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below, and have a great weekend. Bye.